Hey, what's up and welcome. It's Matthew here, the designer and developer. First things first, let me thank Ethiopia, let me thank South Africa, let me thank India, let me thank Nigeria. In case I didn't mention you, it's just that I'm reading my stats from YouTube. So maybe obviously some other places and some other countries are not there, but thank you so much guys for the support. Let's get started. So in this video, I'm going to create this form. As it is, I'm going to use Next.js, obviously built on top of React and Tailwind CSS. This is just a break from a TypeScript series that I'm doing. Okay, so this design, it's not my design. This is the guy who has designed this beautiful and awesome form. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to translate it to code and make it live, and then it will depend according to the flow of the video how far we are going to take it, and also what are the features that we are going to add. Without wasting time, let's just jump straight into it. Okay, as you can see, this is Figma. Okay, the reason why I have dropped this image on Figma, first of all, I want to sample the colors. And secondly, I wanted to get this part, as you can see, only this image. I didn't want to waste time on recreating and redesigning this image. Remember, the overall tutorial, it's all about Next.js and Tailwind CSS. So let's just jump straight into it. Okay, here I've already got a Next.js application running where I'm using it to teach TypeScript. So I'm just gonna run the server so that we can see what's there, and then after that we are going to create a form component. Okay, in terms of forms icons, we are going to use React. This is React Native Vector Icons. Okay, I don't want React Native icon. I want React icons. Okay, I think not React Native. Yes, these are the icons that I'm looking for. And then let's see how do you install this library. React icons, not React Native. Let me just search here. Okay, text me here. Oh, we can also check here how to install. Okay, let's see. This is how to install. Okay, let's quickly do that. Install React icons. Okay, let me just show you first what's there. Okay, let me show you how the website looks like at the moment. Okay, it's taking some time. That's not much of a problem. Let's just open another terminal. Okay, let's paste. Okay, and then enter. Now here we are installing React icons. The reason why we are doing that is because, as you can see, there are these icons here. Okay, what else? Let's check what's here. Okay, it's still loading, as you can see. Obviously, these are the things that I did previously on this course. So if you got some time, please check my YouTube channel. I'm sitting at 535 subscribers. I'm going to take a year and push this channel to 1 million subscribers. So by the 25th of December 2024, I'm expecting to be sitting at 1 million subscribers. So guys, please help me to make the dream come true. Okay, you can just hit the like button and the subscribe button, or just shoot a comment. It will assist. Okay, now let's get into it. As you can see, this is just a blank page. Then let me just go to the code and remove those alert. Okay, let's just check. Let me remove these alert. Okay, let me remove this function. Remove that function. As you can see, I have to remove it here and save. I think that's all, guys. I think we are ready to go. Okay, So we need our mockup in a place where it's going to be easier for us to access it. Okay, let's look at our mockup on this website Dribble so that the name of the designer can always be there. Okay, as we are looking at it, we are not going to use a Figma. We will just use Figma for sampling things. But for checking how far we are, let's use this page. Okay, let's continue, guys. So the first thing that we are going to do, okay, I think I'm going to use my pen also. It's already connected. Let me open Note. Okay, let me open Note. Okay, so I'm going to use my pen just to make some illustrations, and that's it in case I want to draw something. What is it we can talk about? Okay, let me do it like this. Let me do it like this. Okay, my apologies for that. Let me first save this image. Even if I can save this one, that's not much of a problem. Save this image. Okay, so let me say form. Okay, form, and then check this image where it is. Okay, guys, and then let me drop it here on my note. 100%. Let's see. Okay, is this connected? Yes, it's connected. Okay, let me erase this. I'm not sure what I was doing here. Let me see if I can move this a little bit. 100%. I'm happy with this. Okay, there's no need for me to crop it. Okay, let me make it bigger a little bit. Okay, that is it, guys. So what I'm trying to do now is to first help you to get the concept. Okay, obviously, with most of the tutorials from YouTube, we just get into coding and ask you to follow me. You do what I do. Sometimes if it doesn't work, you don't know how. To me, that's a problem. I like to conceptualize things, and I call this process burning the concept. I like to burn the concept in your mind. If you are at my age, you know that from rural areas, like in villages, there are cows there. Okay, we are still living in the old age where we are high on farming. So at some point, you need to mark your own cow so that you can know that this is my own cow. So what we do, we use some sort of heated iron, okay, something like a stamp, to make sure that this is mine. So when I'm saying I want to bend the concept, I want to like some sort of put a solid foundation of what's going on in your mind first, so that when you are doing your own side hustle or your own project, you can use that knowledge, okay, so that you can some sort of advance and improve and better your life in general. Okay, so without wasting time, let's just jump straight into it. And also let me know if introducing some music in the background, it might be a cool thing, but I will try it when I'm doing live. Okay, at the moment I'm not ready for live, but when I'm doing live, I will try some cool sound. Okay, guys, we are in React. So if we are in React, we need to think about components. So if we are in React, we need to think about components. So this form, it's a component. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to have, let me just write it here. Let's call it a form component. Okay, let's just call it a form. Okay, this is going to be the name of the component. Okay, we are going to have a form. Okay, so let's just draw the wireframe. So here it's more like we are reverse, my apologies about that, it's more like we are reverse engineering. Okay, suppose we first draw the wireframes. Okay, we are supposed to first draw the wireframe and then design from the wireframe, but us, we already got the design, so now we are going backward. We are creating a wireframe. As you can see, we've got some sort of an image here. How can I draw an image? Let me draw something like this. Okay, I hope this is going to look like an image icon. Okay, here's an image and we've got a text here. Okay, got a text here and we've got a text here. As you can see here in my wireframe, I'm just also showing the weight. Okay, this is a little bit bolder and this is lighter. Okay, and then this is our this is our input. Okay, as you can see with a text here. Okay, and then with that grayish text there, and then underneath we also got another text that's grayish text. It's a placeholder, and then we've got the icons. We've got the icons. Okay, we've got the icons. Obviously somebody might ask me, why is it important to draw a wireframe? Maybe you are new in design and development, you didn't really know the essence, or why must you have a wireframe. So now you are going to see why. Okay, we need to plan this component. Remember, this is a form. Okay, so the second thing that we need to do, we need to map the component. Okay, shall I say map or extract? Let me say map for now. Okay, map feels right for me. I will change it if it needs be. Map, let me say map comp. Okay, what does mapping component mean? It means that we need to identify the components in this component. For instance, the form components is a parent component, but there might be other child component. So we need to look at that. So as you can see here, the first component that I see, it's this one. Let me use a different color. Okay, that means we are mapping a component. Okay, the first one, it's a form. Okay, let me use numbers. This is the first component. Okay, the second component, it's this text area. This can be a component. Okay, this is component number 2, and then this input is component number 3. Okay, including this message. Yes. Okay, let's include this message. This is component number 3, and the icons is component number 4. Okay, so instead of having like one form and it has got everything, here we are going to think like engineers. We are going to be smart or think smart. Okay, we are going to have like nested component. Okay, we are going to have the overall page, which will have the form as a component, and the form will also have some sort of its own sub components. So how many components do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this means we've got 4 components. Happy? Yes. Okay. Now let's just number 3, let's assign roles. Okay, or single responsibility principle. Let's go with the terminology of the single responsibilities. Okay, let's assign responsibilities. Okay, this way of doing things, or this approach that I'm taking here, is the one that can help you to fit in the work environment. Okay, because in the work environment, you just don't just jump straight into code. Okay, you need to some sort of analyze, you need to communicate with some other developers or the CTO or whoever responsible, and then you need to give them an idea of where you are going so that the person can correct you if you are wrong, so that you cannot waste time and jump into code and then come back and the person say this is wrong, or when the code review time comes and somebody said, no man, you didn't get it. So this approach will help you to understand that. Okay, so we are assigning responsibilities. Okay, so the form component, what is it responsible for? Okay, let's say number 1, the form component. Okay, that means component number 1. Okay, let's say the form. Okay, number 1, the form is responsible for let me just say here, collecting data. Okay. The form is responsible for collecting data. Hence, we have some sort of this input here because it receives the data. It takes the data from the user. Okay. And then the form is also responsible for processing the data. Okay. When I'm saying processing the data, I mean once it receives the data, it doesn't just take the data and send it to the server or maybe call an API endpoint, or it doesn't do that. However, it first receives the data and it processes the data. So processing the data might mean validating. Okay. Your functions inside this form must not take the data and send it as it is. What if maybe there are mistakes in the data? So when I'm saying process the data, that's what I mean. Okay. And then from there, it's responsible for one, two, number three. Okay. It's responsible for, what can I say? Saving the data. The data. Okay, let me just say saving data. Meaning that when the form has received the data, it will process this. If the data is like in the ready state, and then it will call an API endpoint, and then it will save the data, and that is it. So these are the responsibilities of the form. Okay, so let's talk about the single responsibility principle. Single responsibility doesn't mean one responsibility, but it just means that responsibilities that are within close proximity. Okay, meaning that what does a form is supposed to do? What we have listed now, it's everything that a form is supposed to do, nothing more, nothing less. Okay, we are not assigning a task to this form which is outside the scope of a form. So single responsibility means that it doesn't mean one task, okay, but it means that some sort related activities or tasks. Okay, now if we are saying this is component number two, also let's quickly assign the names to our component. This component, it's a form, and this component, let's call it is it a text, is it a heading, a describe, because it has got a heading and a description. Subscribe. So what this component does, actually, subscribe to our newsletter, sign up. Okay, let's call this a header message. Okay, there is some sort of a header. Okay, which is, let's call it a title message. There's a title here which is red, and there's some sort of a description. So let's call this a title. This component, we are calling this component a title message. Okay. Okay, and then this one, um it must be general because we're going to reuse it. So when we are naming it, we must not some sort of localize it. So this is an input. Okay, and also it has got a button, so it's a certain type of input. Okay, let's call it um remember guys, if we call this subscribe input, that means we are attaching a task to the input. Okay, it becomes a problem if we can say it's a subscribe input, because what if maybe we want to use this exact input but we want to use it for sign up? What are we going to do? Are we going to call the subscribe input for sign up input? As you can see, that is some sort of a direction to a dirty code or a spaghetti code. So we need to give a general name to this component. Okay, so let's say button input. Okay, button input, it means that this input has got a button in it. Okay, and what that button could be, obviously it's an action button. It's either it's going to be sign up, it's either it's going to be send, it's either it's going to be click save or whatever. But as you can see now, this component name is general, and it's helping us because we want to reuse this component. Okay, so let's stick to the principle of write once and use it everywhere or many times. So this is going to be an action input, which is an input with an action, but I think button fits well here. We will see if we could want to change. Okay, excuse me. So this means that we are going to have a normal input, but this one is not a normal input, it's a button input. Okay, guys, let's continue. And then here on number 4, okay, on number 4, we've got icon list. Okay, let's not just end there on icon list, because as you can see, this list is a certain type of list. Okay, let's be meaningful. This is a horizontal icon list. Okay, maybe one might ask, Matthew, why do you have long naming, some sort of structure or convention? Why do you make your component longer? Or even my own function, guys, they are like this. Okay, they are more descriptive. Okay, so when I'm reading a variable name, it needs to speak to me. I think to me that's the right path to a clean code. Okay, it needs to speak to me. Okay, but if it's just an icon list, it doesn't tell me if it's vertical or horizontal. So when I'm using it, I need to see without asking the developer who was creating the component to say that which one is it, or going up and down the code. Okay, so guys, let's continue. Now we have managed to name our components accordingly, and now we know that the form will be responsible for this. This is a form. Okay, obviously, the title message component is it's like easy. Okay, that's what it does. And then the what's the name? The button input, which is this input with a button. What is it going to be responsible for? Okay, we can choose. Okay, this button. Okay, my phone is ringing. My apologies for that. Let me just pause the video, and then I will. Okay, guys, I'm back. My apologies about that. Obviously, I might have lost my thought process. Okay, but I'm just going to continue from where I think we were. Okay, my apologies about that. So, what I'm thinking in terms of this component, what is this component responsible for? Look, it depends on us. Okay, we can assign or shift some of its responsibilities to the form. Okay, or we can push the responsibilities to the component. Here are those responsibilities. Number one, this form, this component, which is this input, when you click subscribe, it can be responsible for the processing of the subscription. When you are saying sign up, it can be responsible for the process of signing up, or get a verification code, it can be responsible for that. Or we can say it's going to be general so that you can use it on any form. As soon as we delegate a subscribe task to it, it will mean now we are casting it to be a subscription form. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. So meaning that if it's a subscription input, it means that when you click here, it processes the subscription. What if maybe we want a sign up? It will mean that we have to take this subscription input component, modify it so that it can be a sign up component. What if maybe we want to validate the email or get a verification code? We will always have to come back and modify this component. I don't think that will be the right approach. So what will be the right approach for us is to take out, okay, is to take out the processing part of the form, which is whatever. When you click here, this processing part, let's push it to a client code, okay, which is processing. It's not going to be done. It's not going to be done by this button. It will depend on the client code. What is the client code? The code that will be calling whatever this function. Okay, we are going to have a callback function here so that when you click here, something happen. The code that will be responsible for that callback function then it's the one that must take the responsibility of processing. How is that helping us? It means that now we've got a dumb UI. Okay, sounds silly, a dumb UI, but it helps because now this, in fact, let's say it's a general UI. So this now component, it's general. First of all, it's only a UI. You can change this to subscribe. You can change this to sign up. It doesn't matter. It's just a UI element. And then when you click, it's not going to be responsible for processing the form or the calling code. It's going to be responsible for processing. Now, the responsibilities for this, for the button input, okay? The responsibility of the button input, what is it going to do? When you type here, must it be responsible for validating whatever that you are typing? Yes. Okay. So it cannot validate for an email. It cannot validate for a number. It cannot check if is this a number because it needs to be general. But the best it can do, you cannot click this submit while it's empty. That one, it's something that it has to do. So let's say validate empty. Okay, so now you can see this component, whenever you click, it cannot let you continue if this is empty. I think that's about it, guys. Okay, some of these components, as you can see, they are just displaying information, so it's not like they are processing. Okay, so with this in mind, I think we are ready to go. I think also it's clear to you, you know what's going on. We are going to have 4 components. They will stick to what they want to do. It will make our code cleaner because we are not going to have a form that has got a lot of things. Okay, I think we can jump straight into code. Okay, and also the reason why I decided to create this tutorial is because I've been working on React Native lately, and I just noticed that I'm starting to forget React.js and Tailwind CSS because React Native not necessarily style things differently, but obviously it's not Tailwind CSS. Okay, so this is some of the ways where I am refreshing my next skills. Okay, now let's go to component and create a form component. Okay, let's go to component. Do I have a folder components here? Not really. Do I have it here? Not really. So inside app. Okay, must it be inside app or outside app? Let me put it inside app for now. um Component. Components. Okay, and then from there let's just have a folder form components. Okay, inside form components we've got a form itself. Okay, .tsx. We're using TypeScript. Okay, and then if we look at this, is this running? I think so. Yes, it's running. Okay, this is not what I want. Not what I want at all. Okay, as you can see, we've got a red background. Okay, I'm assuming that this is a page background, not the form. Okay, so let's quickly do that first. Okay, so that means we can go here. We can go here, go to the page. Okay, this is the page, and then you can ignore all other things. These are part of the old tutorial. Then we can come here in this div, and then we can say bg. We are using Tailwind. Let me just put any color, black, just to test and see. As you can see, guys, we are winning. So I'm going to go to Figma, and then on Figma I'm just going to sample this color. My apologies about that. Sample this red, copy it, and then now we need to give a different color here. As you can see, how do we put a custom color? We put square bracket, put hash because it's a hex color, and that's it. Let's save. As you can see, here is the color. 100% guys, we have done the first part. So what do we want to do? We want to bring the form component here. So I'm going to use RFCE, which is a short way for why I don't have that. Okay, let me save it. This is yeah, okay, this is my problem. This is supposed to be TSX. Okay, not TA. Okay, and then RFCE. RFCE. Okay, my mistake. RFCE. Oh, I'm not pressing E. RFCE. My apologies about that. As you can see, this just creates a functional component. Okay, a React functional component. So what we are going to do, we need to import this form so that we can see it in this page. Okay, let's do that. Let's import this form here. Okay, form. As you can see, here is the form. Let it be a self-closing tag. Let's see if we are going to see the form. As you can see, so meaning that we are rendering these children as a form, this child as a form. Let's go back to our mockup. Okay, it's being centered. Okay, let's try to create this. Okay, now in this form, let's go to the form. Then in this form, let's have the outer container first, the white one. Okay, then we're going to type class name bg white. This is Tailwind CSS. Bg white, the height. Oh no, Tailwind CSS doesn't have a height. The reason why I think this is the height I'm used to React Native. My apologies about that. Age, a custom height, which is, let me just give it 500 pixel. This is the height. Okay, let's make it the width. No, the height is fine. And then let's make a width of 300 pixel. Okay. Okay, let's see. As you can see, here is it. I'm happy with the height, but I'm not happy with the width. Let's just make it 500. Okay. And then let's say border radius. Okay, can't we show both of these screens on the same place? Something like that. Let's see. Something like this. Okay. So that we can see this while we are typing. Okay. My apologies about that. Okay, as you can see, much better. So we want to a rounded border. Okay, and then it's rounded on Tailwind. Let's try rounded LG. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Check the mockup. Okay, yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Let's leave it like this. And then let's go and check the mockup. Okay, and that's all. And then what we are going to do also, we are going to have, let me just have a div here. In fact, a div because I'm going to delete it anyway. Okay. Let's see what's in there. As you can see, the text is right at the edge. So let's put a little bit of padding. Sorry, I'm used to React Native P10. As you can see, Now, everything that we put in this container is going to start from here. Okay. I think P10, it's too much, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay. Let's just, yeah, let's make it P8. Okay. Yes, 100%. I'm happy with this. As you can see, guys, we're getting there. We are done with the container, the form container. We are done with the form container. Now we need to create the form itself. Are we ready for that? Yes. Okay. Now we are going to use a form tag. Okay. We are going to use a form tag. Which one? This one or this one? I think this one. Okay. Let's see. It's allowing us. Let's see. Do we have on submit here as an event? Yeah. Okay. On submit. That means this is the right tag. Okay. That's not much of a problem. And then what we want to do now, we need to add this image, this text, and this, and this, and this. So for now, we are just going to, let's just add an input. Okay, self-closing tag. And then, and a what? Okay, let me also just put two input and see. Sorry for that. Okay, obviously, we don't see the input. Maybe it's because the input are not styled. Ne? Okay, yes, here are the input, but they are not styled. That's not much of a problem. What we can do, let's check the mockup. Okay, I think we can center everything here so that everything can be in the center, so that everything can be centered. So how are we going to do that? As you can see, we are starting to center things, okay? Meaning that we have to center this form. That's what we did when we're centering this form. Justify, center, item, center. Now we are centering the form items, okay, or the form in the container. And also, I would like to assume we will have to center this subscribe, this text in this button. So we are centering things and we are repeating ourselves. Then, according to the try principle, do not repeat yourself. We are doing something wrong. So, can't we extract this item center, justify item center? We put it somewhere so that we can just use it once so that we know we can change it in only one place. So, let's try that. Okay, it's been a while since I've been in Tailwind and Next.js. Let's see what we can do. Okay, let's go to global CSS. Global CSS. I know when you want to create your own style, you use something like at layer. Okay, at layer or apply or layer. I think at layer. Use the layer direct to tell Tailwind which packet a set of custom style belong to a valid layer base component utilities. Let's try with add layer. Okay. And then from there, let's create the CSS. The CSS, let's say center. Okay. But center is general. Maybe we might have some, what can I say? Maybe even Tailwind CSS uses center. Okay. So let's not be general. Let's be specific. Okay, so that this center can be unique. So this is what we are going to do as we introduce our own custom styles. Okay, here in Tailwind here. Okay, we need to have a way of showing another developer, which is not me, not you, not the other guy, but a guy that will be working in this code like 10 years from now or 3 months from now, so that they can differentiate between Tailwind CSS utility classes and our own classes. Okay, so that we can tell them that we've got a way of showing you, or if you want to see which one is which, you must know that all our CSS classes start with an underscore. I think that's a right approach. So what we're going to do, all our CSS classes, they start with underscore. And maybe let's say, I'm not sure this is the right thing to do. Let's just check. If it doesn't feel right, we'll leave it. They've got capital letters. Okay. Okay. And then now I did add layer. Okay. Now did I forget? I don't think. Oh, there's a dot here. Okay. Yes. And then let's see, maybe we can say let me say fonts, not necessarily font size, because I want to use tailwind classes. Let's say justify is this justify exactly like this? Let me say rounded LG. Okay, obviously I might be missing something here, and that's not a problem. I'm just testing. Okay, if it's not at layer, let me try apply. Yeah, I think apply works. Okay, at apply, I think it works. But what we can do, in order to save our time in a way, okay, let's just quickly type here Tailwind custom class, custom class, yes, custom class. Okay. Oh, we've lost the internet connection. Okay. Um, we've lost the internet connection. What can we do? Okay, that's not a problem. Let's just quickly test this. Okay, let's just quickly test this. Dot center. Now I just forgot what I used to do. Like, how do you put your custom styles? Isn't there anything that can remind me somewhere here? At Tailwind, not really. Okay, it's is it at layer or at apply? Okay, let me just check here. Uh, da, 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 da. I don't know why this is not running. I want to run this one. This one. This is what I want to run. But for some reason it's not showing me. Okay, guys, let me just quickly get connected so that we can quickly sort this out. Okay, guys, I'm back. So what I did, I just fixed my internet connection and I went to Tailwind CSS documentation, and this is what I was looking for. Okay, so let's just copy this as is and put it here. Okay, as I've been saying, I've been busy with React Native lately. Okay, it's been a while since I've been working with Tailwind CSS. So usually I use not to put this component. Okay, hence I'm deleting it. Okay, this is how I usually do it. And then what we're going to do here, we're going to put a dot and then we'll say center. Okay, and then these are the styles that we are going to apply to our center. Okay, which is let's say first flex one. Okay, just to test this. Okay, let's see what we might have done wrong. Okay, we just need to delete only this. Okay, from here to here, and that is it. And then let's say justify center, um align, oh, not align, items. Okay, item center. So as you can see, guys, what we are doing here, we are creating a custom utility class, okay, or a custom class which is center. In fact, it's underscore center. Okay, my apologies for the delay. And then what we are going to do now, in every place where we are centering element, we're just going to use this class. Okay, let's just go back to page. As you can see, this justify and align items, it's achieving the same thing. So let's see first if local host. As you can see, now this is not centered. So suppose when we apply this, okay, and remove, okay, and remove the dot. Okay, let's see. As you can see, guys, everything has been centered. Okay, so that means we are not going to repeat ourselves. As soon as let me close one of these. Okay, let me just close this. Where's the other one? This one. Okay, let me check, where is this one? Okay, I don't know, and I don't have time to check it. Okay, so guys, this is where we are. That means we are not going to repeat ourselves. I'm happy with that. So what we want now in this form, okay, we want to use that class, okay, so that we can center things. Okay, let me close this. Okay, as what were we centering? Let's just double check. Okay, we are centering this form. Okay, so this test is inside this form. Okay, save. Suppose now everything has been centered. Okay, I'm not sure why I was expecting this to be here, because we are centering it. Okay, just like here on the page, because this makes sure that this is centered, as you can see. So if we have this, everything is going to be centered. Let's copy this and go to the form. This is a div. Okay, this is a div. It has got an element which is not centered. So suppose, okay, this is not centered. Suppose when I'm saying justify, okay, justify center and items center. Suppose this gets centered. Okay, but it doesn't. Let me just make sure that this test is inside this. And then we've got this form. Okay, let me just delete this form. Okay, I have centered this. Let's see, refresh. Not a problem. Now let's troubleshoot bg green. Okay, I want to see bg green, bg white. So bg green, bg white is this one, this container. I'm happy with this, with that. And then it has got the width and the height. Okay, 100%. Oh, okay. If you are going to use justify center and align items center, I think first you need to display flex. Okay, so meaning that the parent container that you want to have its own children centered, it must be a flex first. Okay, I think we were lucky here because this is already a flex. Okay, let's remove this flex also. As you can see, this is not going to apply, so let's put that flex here. Okay, 100%, guys, my apologies about that. Let's continue. And then now suppose this is centered and this is going to be centered. Okay, go to the form and then let's put underscore center. Okay, and then as you can see, this is centered 100%. Let's continue. Okay, let me just undo here until I get what I had before. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this center. Okay, as you can see, don't mind about other things, but this is centered now. Okay, so what I'm going to do, Let's check our mockup. Okay, let's put these side by side. Let's put these side by side. Okay. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with this. Okay, guys. Now what we want to do first, let's introduce. Okay, as you can see now, this container, it's centering its own items. Happy with that, which is it's centering a form, but the form on its own doesn't have a style. Okay, let's do it like this. First of all, let's create a class name, set the background PG green 500 so that we can see the form. As you can see, this is the form, this is outside the form. Okay, so what we want to do, we want the form to center its own item. Let's first create the height of the form to be not the screen, let's say to be 100%. Okay, we want the form to fill the whole container. Okay, as you can see, it's 100%. There is some padding. Let's remove this test. Okay, and then this is the form. This is because of the padding. Okay, and then what we want to do, okay, what we want to do, we don't see this input because these input are not styled yet. Okay, that's not a problem. Let's add an image. Okay, let's remove this input for now. Okay, the height is 100 and the width is 100. Sorry, the W. Let me just copy this as is and then change it to W. As you can see, it fills the whole area. And then we need to use this image, this one, which we already have it here on assets, public assets. Okay, here is this image. Okay, and then we need to add this image here. Okay, so let's continue, guys. Now we can see that this is our form. Okay, now we need to add the image here. Okay, what we are going to do, we are going to use a component which is the next image. Okay, we are going to add a component with a next image. I just have to quickly pause the video. Somebody is calling me, but let me just add this image first. Okay, we need to import it from next image. You can see this one, next image, and that is it. Let me just quickly attend this call. I will be back now. Okay, guys, I'm back. Let's continue. So we've got a next image. Obviously we need to apply the src prop, which means let's see what else does the image want. Let's check what else. The image element must have an alt prop. Okay, let's put that prop, alt prop, and then we are good to go. So now we need to tell next image, okay, that where is our image located. Obviously there is an alternative to next image, which is just maybe it's a React component, which is just an image, this one, but we are using a next image. Why are you using a next image? Next image is like a component that helps you with rendering your images. As you know that if you've got a big image in the internet, in your website, okay, it takes time to load that image, and maybe it's a noticeable time. Okay, it's not just a small time, it's a noticeable time. So next image makes that easier for you. It helps you with quickly rendering. So if you are using this component, you will render your images faster, okay, than a normal image tag. So this is a next image, okay. Now we need to tell it where the image is. So let's just say dot dot forward slash now I'm used to React Native. Maybe with React Native you just put require here and blah blah blah. But let's see first where we are. We are here. So if we are saying dot dot forward slash, I was hoping that it's going to give me some guideline. Okay, that means if we are saying dot dot forward slash, we are jumping out of this part. Okay, and then if we are saying dot dot forward slash, we are jumping out of this part. Okay, and then after that, I think suppose this gives us okay, let me think. There is a better way to do this. Okay, because now I'm thinking in a React Native way, whereas I'm in React. I think I can just go straight to asset when I'm here. Okay, I think I can go straight to asset. Okay, let me think, guys. I think I can just go straight to assets. Where is assets? Here is assets. Okay, go to assets and then forward slash let me just check. Okay, assets forward slash envelope. Okay, so if there is an error, Next.js will tell us what we need to do. But I think now I remembered that it used to be a little bit easier than .jpg. Okay, obviously it might tell us there is an error and it will some sort of show us what we're supposed to do. Here is this error. Okay, src asset developer is missing required width. Okay, let's just say width. Okay, width, let's say 50, and the height is 50. Okay, and the height is 50, and then it says this is missing. Let's try this. There is a very interesting error here which tells us what to do. If you've got this wrong, this Next.js error will tell you. Okay, let's just check here. Fail to pass asset envelope on next image. If you are using relative path, this is what I'm talking about. It must start with a leading slash yes or be an absolute path. Okay, now I see. So the first thing that we want to do, it must start with this. Okay, and then I think after that it will mean that we are already here on public, and then here on public we can just type assets. I don't know why this doesn't give us that autocomplete, and then from there we can look for this envelope. Okay, if it's giving us some tough time, obviously we're just going to go to next documentation or ChatGPT. That's not a problem. JPG. Okay, let's see. 100%, guys, as you can see. So as soon as you put forward slash here, you are already here on public, okay, by default, and then you can go to asset and go to the image that you want. Let's continue. And then what we want to do, we are inside a form. Okay, the form doesn't center anything. Okay, let's center things on a form. As you can see now, centering things that just simply becomes copy and paste. Okay, just becomes copy and paste. As you can see, this is centered. I'm happy with that. Since it's already flexed because of this center, okay, or let me add a gap so that you can see what it does instead of adding it without any noticeable change. Okay, so what we want to do, let's type something here. Okay, let's say h1. Okay, test. As you can see, now these are arranged horizontally, one after the other. This is already flex from here. So let's just say flex If I want flex direction here, let me call, yes, okay, this is flex column. Nope, this is flex column. Let's flex call. As you can see, instead of being a row, it's a flex column. Now let's add the gap so that you can see. Now the gap, let's say the gap is 10. This is what I want you to notice. And then let's check here. Oh, what's the gap? Okay, it's not that much. Let's put a gap of, let's say, is 5 going to work? Or is 5 a valid number? Excuse me for that. As you can see now, we've got a very nice gap there. So let's work on this one. Okay, let's make this 150 and 150. Okay, too much. Okay, this is 1500. Okay, still too much. This is 1500. Okay, I'm somewhat happy with this. Okay, let's make it 200. 200, 200. Okay, I'm happy with this. And then, as you can see now, we need more content. Okay, now since I'm happy with styling my form, now we can remove this screen. Okay, so that everything can be white 100%. And then what I want to do, what I want to do, I want to add this text and this one, meaning that we are not going to add this text and this one from here. Okay, or let's add it here and we will extract it to a separate component when we are done. Okay, let's do that. Let's have a container which is a div. Let's have a container which is a div, and then let's have an h1, and then let's have a paragraph. Okay, let's have a paragraph, and then on h1 let's tap subscribe to, not our newsletter, subscribe to my channel Coded Design. Okay, subscribed to Coded Design, let's say. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Okay, it's not me, it's the user interface, not me. Okay, so subscribe to Coded Design, and that's it. Sign up here to get latest news updates, and let's just quickly type that. Okay, we don't want this /. Sign up here to get latest news and updates. I think news update and special offers. Okay, latest news, updates, and special offers. Okay, if you might want some special offers from the Coded Design, you can just let me know what is it that you want. I will give it to you. Okay, offers delivered directly to your inbox. Okay, your inbox. As you can hear, that these special offers will be delivered to your inbox. Okay, whatever it is, you want to ask me something, I can deliver that special offer to your inbox. I can send you the answer. Okay, so now guys, let's continue. Let's save and see what do we have here. Okay, a little bit bigger. Let's see as compared to this one. Okay, everything is aligned left. Okay, so let's align everything left. Okay, I think automatically everything has been aligned left. Okay, let's style this text. Okay, one thing that you need to notice, okay, with Tailwind CSS, of which it's a not necessarily it's a bit confusing, but I will tell you what I think about it. Is it Tailwind CSS or is it React? Okay, we will discuss that one later, if it's Tailwind CSS or React. Okay, what's going on here? with React or modern JavaScript, it looks like all your HTML elements, they've been disabled. This is what I mean by that. Whether you are using an H1 here, whether you are using a P tag here, in terms of the styling or the default styling, it doesn't matter. This is what I mean. There is no difference in styling um, between a div and an H1 and a P tag. Let's while we're recording, yes, there is no difference. Okay, I think this is it's because of Tailwind. I think it's because of Tailwind. Okay, so Tailwind, like, let me use this word, it wipes up everything so that you can use Tailwind to style it. There are no default styling. I don't think it's React necessarily, because React is not specializing with styling, or it has got nothing to do with style. So it doesn't have to erase HTML default styling. For instance, if you are doing H6 here, there is no difference. Nothing changes. So if CSS wipes every default styling, okay, this might tempt you to use one element in everything, because in terms of the style, it doesn't change. Sometimes the reason why we go for H1, it's simply because we want a paragraph quickly being styled. Okay, let me just go to W3 schools HTML H1. Okay, let me just do this H1 tag to H6. I just want to give you an idea in case you are not aware of these things. Okay, try it yourself. Let's try this. By default, when we are using an H1 tag, we want this because we know automatically it comes with H1. Okay, as soon as we change this H1 to H6, H1 to H6, just check here. Now this is small. Okay, let's come back here. Here where we are, because of Tailwind, okay, sorry about that. Because of Tailwind, there is no difference between H1 and H6. Okay, this is what I wanted you to note. So this might tempt you to just use the divs here. Okay, this might tempt you to just use the divs, okay, because of Tailwind. Why? Because it's the same. My apologies for that. Obviously, maybe there might be an error there, or I might have done something that's not important. Okay, but because everything will be the same, whether you use a div or a text, you have to style it accordingly. Okay, which is a bit of a problem. Okay, because React is very strict with components. Okay, this is what React will React will give you errors on. It's like React will tell you, even though you can use anything, but you cannot put, what can I say? You cannot put you cannot put a div inside an H1. It doesn't make sense. This is an H1, it's supposed to be a text. You cannot put a div element inside it. If for now it doesn't give us an error, with time, when you are deploying your website, or when you are some sort of ready to ship it to production, it will give you those problems. They usually appear as hydration error. Okay, it will give you a lot of errors, and it will point you to documentation, and when you get there, it will explain it to you that you can't put in React, you can't put a div inside an H1. Okay, even though here it looks like it's allowing us, but maybe if we can build this, okay, it will show us some errors. Obviously we can test that later. For now, we can continue. So I was just giving you an idea so that you cannot get into a trap of using these carelessly. Whether you have used a div or an H1, it doesn't make a difference. You must know, even though visually it doesn't make a difference, this is because of CSS, but React.js is still expecting you to do things accordingly. Let me give you the last tip on why you have to do things the right way. There are these things called screen readers. Let's say we were having a screen reader here, which is responsible for reading for us. Okay, imagine, okay, it uses the HTML semantic tags, okay, which is your H1, your H6. It understands everything. But now what you decided to do, you've got your divs all over the place. Now the screen reader is going to be confused. Okay, it doesn't differentiate between a label or a heading, and then it's going to be confused, and that's not going to be a some sort of a best experience, user experience. I hope you got that one. So even though here we can use a div and it's going to give us the same thing, and we can style the div, but let's go back to your normal HTML. Okay, let's just say H1, your normal HTML tags. Okay, let's remove this. Let me change it to a what? Okay, I've got a div here as a container wrapping everything. Excuse me. I've got a div wrapping everything. I've got this subscribe, which is the color of this subscribe. It's where is that red color? The red color, it's here. Okay, as you can see, now we are taking this red color wherever we go. We are taking this red color. Okay, like we're always copying and pasting it. Okay, meaning that we don't have a single source of truth. Meaning that what if we might want to change this red color to blue? It will mean that we have to go to the code and look for every place where we are using this red color and change it there, which is a problem. Can't we find a way of changing this color on one place and then it changes everywhere? Let's try that using Tailwind. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to extend Tailwind and create our own color. Okay, for instance, let me just show you what I mean. If we are here, I don't need this. If we are here on a form, yes, if we're here on a form, we can change this color using class name and Tailwind. We can change is it text or txt? Okay, I think it's text. Okay, text red. Okay, as you can see, text red. Okay, do you see how are we using it? Meaning that whenever we use this text red, anywhere is going to give us the same red. Okay, now we want our color, the one that we have used here. We want to use it exactly like this. Okay, so now let's extend Tailwind CSS colors. Also, guys, please forgive me my Tailwind CSS skills. I have not been using them for some time. I've been working on React. Okay, so if I'm moving up and down, please bear with me. Okay, okay, let's go to a file which is not necessarily CSS. Okay, but let's go to first global CSS and see. There are no themes here. There is no extend here. This is not the file that we're looking for. Okay, let's go to Tailwind config.ts. Is this where we want to go? Yes, I think so. As you can see here, there are many configs. Okay, now what we want to do, theme extend background image. Okay, obviously here we are going to, what can I say, we are going to use a finder way. Okay, but if we're not winning on the finder way, we are going to use the proper way. Maybe it might happen that will mean I forgot the syntax, and then we can go to the documentation. You can extend the colors. Okay, you can extend Tailwind CSS colors and add your own colors. To us, let's treat this red as a primary color. As you can see, it's dominant and it's the brightest color. Okay, let's treat it as a primary color. Okay, let's say primary. Obviously, our own styles, okay, or our own variables, let's always treat them with underscore and capital letters. Okay, you will see how is this going to help us. Okay, and then let's paste this color. Okay, so what we did, we have extended Tailwind colors. Okay, we have extended colors here. They are extending the background. Us, we are extending the colors. We are adding color primary. So let's go back to where we have red, that red, and change it to black first. Let's see if it has changed to black. As you can see, guys, now we want to use our primary color. So let's delete everything, start from here. Or this is supposed to be screen. Save. Then when we are from here and we type space and then we type BG, let's type dash and then let's type underscore and C. As you can see, guys, voila, we've got BG underscore primary. Okay, save. Let's see, does it show me the color? It doesn't show me the color, but let's check if everything works. It looks like something is wrong. Okay, because it was supposed to show us the color here. Okay, it was supposed to show us the color, so it can show us this. Okay, but it's having a problem on displaying this color. Here is the problem, guys. This is my fault. I'm sorry about that. This is my fault. Let's go back. Okay, let's check. As you can see, now it's giving us the color. Go back. Kumbaya. We are getting there. We are becoming better developers. As you can see, we are starting to think like front-end engineers. We don't just space, and that's it. No, we think, we shift things around. We make sure we apply all the good programming practice and principle. Let's continue. Let's continue. Okay. Now we are having our color sitting, let's say, in a global place. Okay. This means that if we change it here, it's going to change everywhere. So let's quickly apply the same color here on text red. Okay. Text dash underscore. As you can see, guys, now we are getting there. We're in the game. Okay. Let's say, is it text or font bold? I think it's font bold. Now I think I'm getting back on track. I'm gaining my CSS, sorry, Tailwind's powers. Okay. So this is what we want. Okay. Just for the sake of practicing, let's have three colors here. We must have the primary, the secondary, and which one? And the tertiary. But we don't really need the tertiary here. But let's make it. Okay. I just want to give you some sort of the best way to go about things. Red is our primary. Okay. Let me do this. Okay. Red is our primary color, as you can see. I think this red and this one is not the same red. Obviously, maybe my eyes are playing a game with me because this red, maybe there is white on top of it. Let's just quickly confirm that first. We can use Figma. As you can see, this is this red. Let's duplicate this and let's sample this red. Okay. You know, with us, maybe I'm colorblind. You never know. To me, it looks like these are different things. Even in terms of the numbers don't lie. As you can see, this number and this one is not the same. So this one is going to be a primary color and this other red is going to be a secondary color. Let's take the other red. Okay. Go to Tailwind. Okay. Go to Tailwind underscore and then secondary. The reason why we are putting underscores and capital letters, it's simply because most libraries, we are using the same name, because it's some sort of easy and understandable. It makes sense. For instance, Bootstrap will have button BTN primary. It will have Tailwind CSS will have BTN primary. What else? Which another? Shared CN they might have PT and primary. So if you also name things the way they name them, then you might have some conflicts. Okay, so these underscores, they are just making sure that it's unique, and also the other developer, when they come, they can see that this is not Tailwind CSS. Maybe they might ask, where is this coming from? Which is, they will track and find it here, and that's good. Okay, and then this is, as you can see, this is our other color. So this is the secondary color. Let's look for a tertiary color. Okay, whatever that I'm doing here, which is primary, secondary, and tertiary, it's just my own experience and my own skills and my own way of doing things. You can give these your own name. Okay, I like to do this. I always have, when I'm coding and developing, I always have these colors. If they are not there, I make them. Okay, so this means we have created the primary, we have created the secondary, and now let's use this gray as tertiary. Okay, so that we can even use that gray here. Okay, yes. Okay, so we're going to use this gray here and here. Okay, so if we want to use dark gray, we're going to use one gray. Okay, so let's do this. Duplicate. Okay, I think this color thing that I'm applying here doesn't come from the coding aspect of me, the developer aspect. It comes from the designer aspect of me. Okay, remember, I'm a designer and a developer. So I think these small techniques are just small things that are coming from my designer side. So maybe I'm left brain and right brain. I'm not sure about that. You can comment, shoot a comment below and tell me if you are a designer and you are a developer, what's going on in your brain. Apologies about that. That means tertiary, it's gray. Okay. And then usually what I do, okay, the primary, the secondary, and the tertiary, these are my brand colors. Okay. Like Google has got those red, green, yellow thing there. Okay. That's what you use to see. So these are my brand colors. Usually, after these three colors, okay, I've got the additional two colors, which is a popping color and a light color. Okay. The pop color, to be honest, even though the name it's pop, doesn't really mean pop. Okay. It just means a color that is brighter than all of other colors. For instance, if we might have orange here, it will mean that orange is the pop color because it doesn't form part of the identity and it calls for attention, and you can see it in multiple screens. Okay, I will go to the UI later so that we can check these things. Maybe we can identify these colors. So usually we've got the pop colors and the light color. Okay, so here let's have this gray, this light gray, as our light color, and a secondary version, and a secondary gray. This is what I mean. This is the gray and this is the gray, and this gray and this gray, it's not this gray. Okay, it's not the tertiary gray. So let's use that gray as a light color. Okay, or let's just give those the names accordingly. Okay, for instance, let's say light gray, which is going to be this gray. Okay, it's this gray. This is some sort of something that it's my opinion. Okay, I'm thinking the graphic design aspect of my craft comes handy sometimes. So I would like to suggest, guys, you can also some sort of learn a thing or two about Figma as a front end developer. I think it will help you. Okay, because I'm starting to see that I am able to maneuver through a lot of front end things with my graphic design skills. Okay, as you can see now, we've got the light gray, and then this was tertiary, let's say darker gray. Okay, in fact, we're not going to use these. Let's just say light gray, darker gray. That's not really darker gray. Let's say light gray 1 and light gray 2. Okay, and light gray 2 And then this is the light gray too. Okay, let's do it like this. Zoom in, zoom in. Okay, are we recording? Yes, okay. Um, Color picker, 100%. Copy this to our code. Okay, I don't like this. Hey guys, as you can see, now we've got our colors set up. Okay, what's going on here? Tailwind, what's are you complaining with? Okay, I must remove this. Tailwind is happy, our form is happy. And then let's go back to where we are, guys, and continue with the development. Okay, this is complaining. Let's see. Okay, primary, secondary, tertiary, light gray 1, light gray 2. I'm happy with this. Let's go to the form and check what you might have done that is not okay. Okay, let's go center. Let's see. Let's just refresh this first before. App global CSS webpack mode modules nest this build webpack. What's the problem? Load index.js reference error. It's not defined. App global CSS. What we have done. Okay, let's just check. Let's just check. Obviously, this is a Tailwind CSS thing. Text primary, we're done with that. Okay. What else? What else? Let's check. Yes, now it's running. Okay, maybe we had to save some things there. Okay, it's fine. Let's just check the mockup. Where is the mockup? Where is the mockup? I think I'm happy with this. Okay, we are getting there. But the padding, okay, I think the pairing. Okay, let's go to the pairing. Padding, it was 8. This is just normal padding. Now let's say padding, one padding horizontal. How do I get that on Tailwind CSS? Padding vertical is px. Okay, on React Native is padding horizontal. Let's increase it to 12, px-12. Okay, as you can see, this padding and this one is not the same, but we don't really see it. Yeah, this is much better. I like this. Okay, let's remove this one because we don't need it. Okay, let's check the colors. I'm happy with this. Now let's create this. Oh, okay, guys, good programming practices. Remember, we said this is a separate component. Where is it? This is the form. This is the image. We said this is a separate component. Okay, because we want it to be reusable. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to extract this to a separate component. What was the name of that component? The name, it was title message. Okay, go to components, form component. In fact, title message can be used in any other place besides the form. Let's just create a component. Title message component dot tsx. Okay, rnfe fe. Okay, this is made possible by an extension called ES7 React Redux snippet. Okay, what I did here, I created a React Native component rfce. Okay, as I've told you that I've been playing around with React Native, so my apologies for that. And then let's paste this here. As you can see, what we did, we just extracted that component into a separate component, that part. And then as you can see here, we don't have it now. So we need to import it. Okay, let's import it on form. Now we are importing as title. Where is it? Title message. Here is it. Okay, as a self-closing tag. As you can see, it's back again, but it's not dynamic. Okay, meaning that if you want to use it somewhere else, it's not going to be usable. So we need to pass these props to this component. So let's make it in such a way that it's ready to receive props. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We want to receive the title, and also we want to receive, let's say, is it the description or the message? Let's say description, title, message. Let's just use message for now because of the name of that component. Okay, and then we are receiving these as strings. Okay, now we are typing these. This is TypeScript. We are receiving this as a string and this as a string. Okay, 100%, as you can see, meaning that now we need to take this message out of this so that it can be dynamic. This is going to be the title. Then we need to pass this title here. Okay, so let's just declare a const title. Okay, I can't declare. Yes, this is not the right place to declare something. Let's declare things here. Const title. This is the title. Okay, and then let me copy the message. Then here, instead of hard coding the message, we are going to display the message. And then let's go back here. Const message equal to the message. I hope now you can see that we are going to take the title. We are going to pass the title, which is here. We are going to put the title. Which title? That one. And then here we're going to pass the message. Which message? That one. Where is it? Message. Const what? Const. Okay. My apologies about that. Message. As you can see, we've just converted this into a reusable component. What if we want to change this? We can do it like this. Design, save. As you can see, now it's coded design. Now the component is highly reusable. Okay, let's continue, guys. Let's continue. We are done with this. We are getting there. Check our mockup. And then we've got this component. So also with this component, we are going to some sort of first create it inside the form, and then we can extract it outside of the form when we are done. Guys, my apologies. Just need to take a quick break so that I can come back fresh and revitalized. We'll be back now. Okay, guys, I'm back. Let's continue. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we are going to create this component. Let's just quickly go back to the drawing board, and remember we said this component, it's button input. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to create this component inside a form. When we are done with it, we are going to extract it to its own separate component. So let's just where we are now, we are inside a form. Yes, okay, this is the image, this is the title, and then we want to be here. Let's create a container. Okay, let's create a container. And then this is a container. I'm happy with that. Okay, and then what we are going to do is create an input. Okay, let's create an input as a self-closing tag. And what else? Let's create another div as a button. Okay, let's see. Is it going to be the button or what can we do? Okay, for now, let's just create another div. Okay, just create another div and let's just, for now, hide subscribe. Okay, and that is it. Let's save. Let's check our mockup. Okay, as you can see, this is what we have. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do, let's style our is it going to be the input? Yes, let's style the input. Let's style the input, give it a class name. Okay, the width is going to be, let's put a custom width. Let's say it's going to be 300 pixel. And the height, custom height, let's make it 40 pixel. Okay, the height is 40 pixel. Now obviously we don't see it. Okay, we don't really see it. Okay, in order for us to see it, let's work on the border. Okay, on Tailwind CSS, first you specify that there will be a border there, and then let's look for border color. If we have that, okay, then that will mean, let's just type here border gray for now. As you can see, this is the border gray there. So let's say border black. As you can see, this is clear. Okay, now let's go to our mockup. Let's use the gray that we have on our Tailwind. Okay, I think it was this one, light gray 2. So let's use that one. Where I am, this is where I am. So let's just say border underscore. Okay, let's just delete everything so that we can have, what can I say, an IntelliSense. Okay, and autocomplete, something like that. Border dash and then underscore light gray 2. Here is the light gray 2. And then let's save it. Let's see. Border, why it is not light gray 2? Okay, maybe this is that light gray 2. Yeah. Okay, or this is focused and this is light gray 2. Okay, and then when it is focused, let's remove the outline of it, because this is because of the outline. We don't really want this outline. Okay, if we might want to show this when it's focused, maybe we might do our own way. Maybe we might do it differently, but this outline is old-fashioned. Okay, outline none. As you can see, outline none. So as you can see, okay, and then from then what we want to do, we want to change the color. Okay, the background color. Okay, I hope this is visible enough. Let me move this. Yes. Okay, so we want to change the background color, BG, obviously to dash light gray 1. Okay, as you can see. And then in terms of the okay, this is an input. That means the input has a placeholder. Okay, what is the placeholder? Let's just check. Enter your email. Okay, enter your email. Enter your email. Whatever, just Okay, my apologies, guys. So what I did, I just typed the placeholder directly on my input. Okay. My apologies about that. This is supposed to be here. Ish coding. Okay. As you can see, here it is. Okay. So what else do we want to do? Okay, let's work on the padding. Are we live? Yes, we are recording. Okay. So as you can see, guys, we're getting there. Let's just check where we are now. Let's get our corners to be rounded, rounded large. Check that. Okay, not here, but here. Okay, that's too long. We can also put it here. Rounded large. Okay, so you can see this is rounded large. And then padding X, PX, let's make it 10. Let's make it 10. Okay, 10, PX 10. Um, that's a bit too much. 6. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Not really. Let's make it padding 4. I'm happy with that. And then the height, let's make it 45. Okay. Okay, I'm happy with that. And then as you can see, guys, we're getting there. We are done with our input. Okay. Now, we need to, what can I say? Let's ban the concept. Okay. Let's ban the concept. I will need to do some illustrations here so that you can get this. Okay. Now, this is what we are going to do. We have a container. Okay. Doesn't have a width and a height, but we have a container here. Okay. This container, because it doesn't have a width and the height, it will always wrap its own children. Okay. So if inside we have a what can I say, a text input, so it will always wrap its children. Okay, something like this, as you can see. Okay, but we have another children here, another child here. Let's just quickly check how it looks like and where is it. As you can see, it's behind this one. Okay, at the below it. Okay, that's not much of a problem. This is not what I want. Okay, so let me remove what? Let me remove what? Let me remove this one. Okay. So we have another child here. Okay, which is the button. Okay, this is the button. Okay, this then means the container that wraps these will always be very close to these. Okay, this will always be close to these. I want the red color. My apologies. I don't know why I'm not picking it. Okay. This container will always be close to this, okay? Something like this, okay? So the container's height and width is equal to the sum total of the width and height of its own children, okay? I hope you get that one. Now, what we want to do, we want to change, what we want to do, we want this button, okay? First of all, we want it to move from here. It must go and stay here because it belongs here. Okay, that's what we want to do first. How are we going to do that? If this button, the position for this button, my apologies about that, the position for this button is relative. Okay, it's positioned relative to some sort of its children and the parent container. So it take a physical space here. Okay, as you can see, let's say we've decided to hide this. Okay, it can hide, but the space that it's occupying, it's not going to hide because it has been positioned relative. Okay, but if it can be positioned absolute, if it can be positioned absolute, it means that, okay, first of all, it moves from where it is. Okay, first of all, okay, it moves and it can move to any place. It has got a freedom of movement. If it's relative, it doesn't have much freedom of a movement because it's like it's inside a queue or a line. Okay, this is a queue. So if you are here, you can't just move backward and move forward because there are people in front and at the back of you. That's relative. But as soon as you make it absolute, it's like if we had a queue here, okay, this guy all of a sudden simply, like magically, okay, magically he is being lifted up, okay, and after that these guys will occupy this space, okay. So a second image will be something like this, and then this guy will be here. Okay, not only this guy will be here, this guy has a freedom of movement. This guy can move. It's like this guy is a bird, so he can fly anywhere and be. So that's what position absolute achieves. So meaning that we are going to use absolute here first. But absolute works hand in hand with the parent. You position this relative to the parent. If we can position absolute now, this will look for something to hold on to because it will look for a parent container. If this parent is not positioned, it will skip it and it will go to the overall body and go to the top right and top left of the body, meaning that it will some sort of disappear on the screen if this is position absolute. To avoid that, we need to position this. It doesn't matter what position, guys. It can be relative, it can be absolute, it doesn't matter. But as soon as it gets a position, it also assumes a responsibility of governing its children in terms of positioning. So let's position this relative so that it can stay where it is, but only for the sake of this needs to govern when this is absolute, so that at least it can move somewhere here. Then when it moves somewhere here, what will happen to this container? The height, it will decrease. It will now wrap only this text input. Let's quickly do that so that we cannot conceptualize too much. Then we'll come back to the concept. I hope you get that one. So let's start with the button. Okay, this is where it is. Now I'm starting to see no difference between our own mockup and this mockup, because now I was going to say, let's move to the actual code. And it happened that this is the actual code. So it's just simply means we are getting there. Okay, it's a progress to us, guys. So let's make the button. We're in the form. Where is the button? It's just a div with subscribe. Where is it? This is the message. That means that part input. So that div is somewhere here. Let's put it this one. Okay, so let's make this absolute and see class name and see how is it going to move. Okay, it's going to move to the first parent that has got a position that is set. If there is nothing set here, it will be relative to the body. Okay, let's say absolute space absolute. Okay, so in most cases it just disappears in most cases. Okay, this is absolute. Okay, so it looks like it doesn't disappear. Let's see what might have happened. Okay, in which parent is it some sort of anchored in, or it's being moved relative to? Okay, the body of this class name, this is the div class name, it's absolute. Okay, yeah. And then let's look at the parent container. This is the first parent container. This is not relative and it doesn't have a position. Okay, let's go up, 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 up. Do we have any other relative? Nothing. Okay, now what we are going to do, this is the container I was talking about, the one that wraps all the children. So let's just say class name. Let's give this a BG of green 500. Okay. As you can see, this BG of green, as much as the subscribe button is inside it, but it looks like it's not wrapping it. It only appears at the back of what? At the back of the text. The text input. My apologies about that. At the back of the text input. Okay, now let's remove this relative and see this position. As you can see, now if we remove the positioning, okay, as you can see, it becomes part of this. So we are right when we are saying once we position it absolute, it doesn't occupy this space inside this wrapper. Okay, it doesn't occupy the space inside this wrapper. It doesn't. Okay, so now we need to know why it's not being positioned relative to some sort of the nearest container with a position. I'm going to do, in order for us to test that, okay, let's use the property top, bottom, and up. Okay, so when you set the top, you are setting the top of this element relative to the container to which it's anchored on. At the moment, we don't know, to be honest. All my theory, it has been just been turned upside down because this was supposed to move relative to the body. Now we're just doing a little bit of investigation. So this item, it's going to be top, or it's going to position top based on the anchoring element. So let's say top 0 and see where is it going to. 100%, as you can see, it's going to the body. Okay, so remember, this is React.js. Obviously it behaves differently to HTML, to normal HTML. But with normal HTML, as soon as you position an element absolute, it quickly jumps to what can I say? It quickly jumps to the governing parent. Okay, here we can only see the governing parent once we assign the top. Okay, as you can see, this is the body. Let's look at the left. Okay, let's put a left of 0. As you can see, okay, this is the body. Okay, as you can see, so now this moves absolute based on, my apology about that, it moves, okay, it's being positioned relative to the body because the body, it's like the last layer. Okay, that's great. We are happy with that. Now we need to tell it that be positioned top or bottom or left relative to the green wrapping container. As much as you are not taking space in it and you are no longer part of it, as you can see, it's no longer part of it, but be positioned relative to that container. How are we going to achieve that? Let's just quickly go to the drawing board and ban the concept. Okay, so now, as I've told you that it's going to move to this part, and this is where it is. Now we need to set a position of this container. Maybe it's either it's going to be relative or absolute. Any, it will work. Okay, so that it can move to here. Okay, let's just quickly test that. Now we are going to say this green, let's position it relative first. Okay, where is our code? Okay, as you can see, guys, now it's being positioned relative to that green container. So the trick is the width and height of the green wrapper. Now it's exactly the same as the input. So the width and height is exactly the same as the input. So we can position this subscribed relative to that green container, wrapping container, but it will always feel like we are positioning it relative to the input. Okay, now let's set the width and height of this button. Okay, so let's set the width and height. Let's first start with the background bg. Remember the background of it's that red but the strong one, which is the secondary one. Okay, dash underscore secondary. Okay, let's save and see. 100%, this is what we want. In terms of the color, text dash white. We want the color to be white. Happy with that? Yes. Now, what about the height? We want the height to be 100%. My apologies about that. H. How do you set 100% in Tailwind without putting like your custom 100%? Let's just say height full. Okay. Let's try this. H full. Let's see. I think this is an equivalent for 100%, as you can see. Okay. It's full. Now, if it's full, as you can see now, okay, this is not rounded. So meaning that the full of this, it occupies it relative to this green one. Hence, we've got some square corners here. We need to take note of that. But now, the top was 0, okay, and the left was 0. Now, let's say the right, it's 0. As you can see, now it moves to the right, but please note that it still have some square corners. We'll deal with that one later. And then let's put the padding. Okay, let's not put the padding. Let's be clever. Okay, because if we put the padding, it will mean that we are not guaranteeing that this object will always be in the center. Okay, adding a padding X, let's say of 10. Okay, doesn't mean, as you can see, this has got a padding, but it's still vertically, it's not centered. Okay, let's put a padding of 4, but vertically it's not centered. Okay, let's just make sure first this is being centered in this element, meaning that we are going to reuse our underscore center. Okay, as you can see now, this is centered. Okay, we are happy with this. In terms of padding is equal to 4. Let's just put a padding of 4 all over. Okay, padding of 4 all over. I'm happy with this. Now let's fix this rounded. Okay, what we are going to do now, we are going to change the rounded. Suppose we are having rounded left or rounded right or something like that, because we don't want to change, like for instance, let's say rounded large. Okay, as you can see, everything changes. Okay, this side and this side, this corner, this corner, this corner, and that corner. We want only to change this. So let me just say rounded X. This is just a wild guess. Rounded X based on how I know Tailwind. Rounded X. Rounded X. Okay, right. Rounded left and right. Rounded horizontal. Let's just say rounded and see the possibilities. Okay. This is going to give us the clues. Rounded X. No, no, no. We want the, okay, as you can see, rounded top, rounded right, rounded left. Let's see. What about rounded H, maybe for horizontal? Okay, let's just use rounded R, B for bottom, top. Okay, now I see. So rounded, um, rounded T is rounded top, rounded B, rounded bottom, rounded L. Is there such a thing? Here is rounded left. Let's make it LG. Okay, as you can see, this is rounded left, as you can see, but in our case, we want rounded right. Not a problem. Let's just change this. As you can see, now this is rounded exactly the same as the input. Now, or the only disturbing thing is that background, the green background. We can remove that green background from here. Okay, undo. Remove the green background. As you can see, now we are having this input. Let's just check our mockup. Okay, I'm happy with this. This looks fine. Now the only thing that we need to do, let's make this interactive. So when you hover over this, first of all, the pointer needs to change. Okay, here. So where is that? Let's do that here. Okay, let's say cursor. Okay, cursor pointer. Start from there, as you can see. Okay, let's change the background. Okay, this is the background color. Let's say on hover. Okay, let's change the PG. In fact, let me just say PG. White won't really make it. Okay, let's say PG underscore. Let's try primary. Okay, let's see, is this red going to be noticeable? Not really. Okay, not that noticeable. Okay, so let make it background. Let make it a background of white. And the color, which is the color of this text, okay, it needs to be um text dash underscore uh light gray too. Okay, let's check. Okay, the text is not like that. Where is that? Okay, color, the text, it's light gray too. When is this on hover? Of which this is not on hover. Okay, let's quickly fix that. It's supposed to be red on hover when you're hovering over it. Okay, not PG gray, PG white color. This is what I want. Okay, on hover, text, text underscore, text underscore light gray too. That's what I want. Okay, not really, not light gray too. Not light gray too. My apologies. I want this gray secondary. 100%, as you can see. Now on hover, let's say the border, the border color, it's still this one. But now I don't see it. Okay, on hover, border, color secondary. Okay, so this, which one that had a border of, okay, now I see. Now I see. Okay. So which one is on top? Because now I want that background to be red, the border to be red. Oh, okay, it must hover, it must be border first. Okay. Okay, let me do this. The border is not here. Okay, in this element. Let's first put the border there before we put the border color. As you can see, now the border is there. Okay. Apologies about that. As you can see, now the border is there. Okay. Now, what I want to do, let me set the border to transparent. Okay, so that I know the border is not there. Border transparent. Okay, let's save and see. Okay, so we know that if this border is border transparent, when I'm hovering, it's supposed to be border something. which is like this. When I'm hovering, it's being border secondary. Okay, border secondary, which is a color. Okay, so it looks like we might just leave it as it is on border. Okay, but I hope it's not putting any border around there. Okay, but this is what I wanted. Okay, then we can type something here. Guys, I'm happy with this. So what we want to do, we want to make this a separate component so that it can be reusable. Okay, so let's copy this element. Okay, go to the drawing board. This element name was, let's just go back here. Nope, this is not what I want. Where is that one? The form. Okay, this is what it was. It was input button. Yeah, an input with the button. Okay, let's go to components. I hope you are learning something. If you are, please do me a favor and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, go to component, form component. Yes, that's not necessarily a form. It's a form component. Whenever we're using it, it must be wrapped inside a form because it has got that. Can we use it outside a form component? Let's say we want to use it maybe in terms of the action, a certain function will handle the function. Okay, let's not make it a compulsory form element. Okay, just put it under components in general. It's input button dot tsx okay, rfce, and then let's put it here. As you can see, here it is. Then let's import it because it's not here now. As you can see, import it back into the form. Input button. Let's go back and see. As you can see, it's back here. Okay, so in order to make this as reusable as possible, we need to supply everything that it needs. This needs to be dynamic. The placeholder, the button needs to be dynamic, the colors needs to be dynamic, and what else? And also the function that this is going to do when you click needs to be dynamic. So what we want to do, we want to go to the input and convert it. Okay, pass some props. Okay, now let's do this differently. Okay, let's do this differently. Let's not have everything here, like our styles, our types. Okay, need not to be here. So now let's say type. Okay, type input button props. Okay, we want to receive a placeholder. You want to receive a placeholder as a string. What else? We want to receive, in terms of the border color, let's just leave them as they are for now. Okay, we don't want to make this as like complicated. I'm just giving you the idea. So I'm hoping you can continue on your own to change the border color. And then we want the button name. The button label, I think it's a button name. Okay, it's going to be a string. My apologies, it's going to be a string. And then we want, let me show, I was still recording, button name. I was still recording. Yes, okay. Button name. Okay. And also the button name, we want the okay, in terms of the button name, we can just abbreviate it at btn name. Okay, and then we want the button color. Btn color as a string. Okay, which is btn active color when the button is active and the btn inactive color. It's going to be a string. I think that's all for this component. We can change this name. We can change the button color, active and inactive, and we've got the placeholder. Okay. Now let's receive these through props. Okay. I'm just going to do this, and then I'm just going to remove these, remove this, remove this, remove this, and then we're going to put these here. As you can see, we are receiving these, but now we need to give these proper types, and then this is the type. Okay. As you can see, we are good to go. But now we are not passing these, and also we are not using these. We are just only receiving them. In terms of the placeholder, let's take this enter email and use a dynamic placeholder. Let's go and okay, let's just say placeholder, this one. Then the name of the button, which is this one, subscribe, btn name. And then terms of btn secondary, looks like it's going to be a mission and a half, but it's something that we can do. We need to be clever. Okay, let's see how can we do it. Okay. 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 Class names, class name. There is a library that we need to install, the one that will make this possible. So let me just give you an idea of what I'm thinking. This button needs to have a default color, okay, which is going to be this, let's say this red and whatever. But it's something that you can overwrite, okay, but it must have a default color so that in case you forgot, or it must not force you to put the colors, okay, so that you can use it without like being forced to use the colors. But if you want to override the styles, then you can do it. So let's try that. So what we need a we need a library. Nah. And that library is it class name, or is it Tailwind merge? Is it class name? Okay, I think it's class name. Okay, class name React. Okay, styling CSS in Isaac, use of class name. I want to install this class name prop. Okay, let's see. Class name plus. Okay. Okay. Tailwind merge and class name. Okay, class name and okay. Let's just check here. How do I use this installation? I think is this React or quick started? Is this React or it's class name installation? Okay. Install class name. Okay, let's see. This is what we want. Okay, class name TS. Okay, let's see. npm install class names 100%. Const class name, require class name for bar. Yeah, I think this is what we want. 100% guys. Yeah, this is what we want. This is how we're going to use it. So let's install this. Okay, let's open a new terminal. Terminal. I was not supposed to open a new terminal. I was supposed to open another terminal, but it's fine. Okay, we are done installing. Let's check if how many terminals do we have. Let's just delete all the terminals. Okay, so that we can only have one terminal. Then we need to run the server. Then npm run dev. Let me just check run dev. Okay, let's delete this. Okay, let's see guys, we're getting there. We're just going to install this class name. You are going to see in a minute what it does, but it's going to make our life easy, and also it's going to assist on making highly reusable component. I'm not sure why we have lost some styles here. Okay, I'm not sure why we have lost some styles. Did we? Okay, this didn't have the width and height. Okay, remember, and we did that intentionally because we don't want this to be this long, half of it, while the text maybe is just safe. We are creating a highly reusable component. So what we need to do, we just need to assign the name. How are we going to do that? As you can see, this input button doesn't receive a, what is it? Was it a button name? Okay, let me just copy here. The following type input probes. Okay, placeholder btn name. Okay, btn name. Okay, let's just say the btn name is save. Okay, I hope it's going to show, as you can see. Okay, so it will take the space according to this. In our case, it's going to be subscribe. And then let's put the placeholder. What was the placeholder? Your email. Okay, as you can see guys, now this component is reusable. Okay, as you can see, your email. And what else? I think the other things are the things that we are busy with. Okay, I think that's all. Now let's make this to look exactly like this one. Subscribe. Okay, let's put these side by side. Okay, instead of your email, let's make it subscribe. Subscribe. Okay, make this subscribe. So what we wanted to do, we wanted to change or manipulate these colors, in fact more especially these ones. Okay, so let's try that. So let's try that. Let's use the class name. Let's import the class name. Okay, import class name. Let's first import as a default. Here is it, import class names. Okay, now in terms of styling, okay, let's check this. In terms of styling, what we're not importing class name here on the form. Sorry guys, we're not going to use it here. We are going to use it here on the input button. Okay, are we still recording? 100%. Okay, class name. And then what we want to do now, instead of where is the button, here is the button. Okay, let me just close this. Here is the button. Okay, so what we can do here, let me just quickly do this. What we want to do, we want to take all of this, um okay, and instead on the class name we want to put this, and then type the class name. Okay, ufuna upom? Awungapom? Yebo. So we want to put this class name, and then open curly braces, and then put the first class name and put the second class name. Okay, let me just explain what's going on here. Instead of us putting like straight class name as we did before, now we are using this function. Okay, it's like now we are going to supply the default styling, and then we are going to supply the alternative styling. I hope you get the idea. At first we just have one styling, the one that I've copied. I hope I'm not going to lose it. We had one style. Okay, let's just bend the concept. Okay, think that's going to be easy. Let's bend the concept. Okay, now at first we had style, let's say red. This was the style. Now because of we are using class names, we have two styles. The first one red, and the second one blue. What does this mean? It means that, okay, if blue is not here, if I didn't put blue in this component while I was declaring this button, I didn't put blue here because I don't want to, it will default to red. But if blue is there, it will override red and use blue. I hope you get the idea. Let's quickly check that. Okay. Let me remove my pen from this pad, and then I can get control. Okay. Now what we are going to do, we are going to say here bg red. Save it. Suppose we've got a background color red in the button. Okay, even though some other styles might have been removed, as you can see, some other things have been removed, but the background red is supposed to be, it was supposed to have been working. Maybe I did something wrong here in my styles. Let's see. Okay, let's say space bg, let's say bg black. It's fine. Go and check. As you can see, this is bg black. Okay, it's a default. But what if here we can have bg blue? Okay, okay, on my red here I was supposed to be red 500. As you can see, now it's showing there. Now we want bg blue. Okay, can you guess which one is it going to take according to the concept that we have bent? This one or this one? Let's just check, guys. As you can see, it's taking blue. So now we can use this, okay, to make sure that now this button, it's highly, what can I say, reusable. Okay, now let's do that. So I've already copied the styles like from before, okay, which we are going to use these as the default styles. I think I have copied everything, including those quotation marks. Yeah, as you can see, guys, I'm pasting everything as it was. Okay, because we've got the background blue on the second style, let's see what's going on. As you can see, it takes blue. Okay, that's not much of a problem. So we're getting there, guys. So we are going to remove these second styles because we want the calling parent. Okay, we want the client code to supply us with those. Okay, so let's just say here class name, like this one, class name, not class names. Okay, but this one is going to come as a prop. Obviously it's going to tell us class name is not declared. We want to receive it as a prop. So let's go to our input prop and add class name here. It's going to be a string. And from there, we need to add it here also, here, as you can see. So now our button is back to functioning as normal. Back to functioning as normal. Okay. And then let's just quickly fix a small thing here. Check our mockup. I think our button it's a bit longer than this one. I think this button is filling the whole parent of the container. Okay, as you can see, this is just a padding and this is just a padding. So it's filling the whole container. So let's check the button width. Okay, here the width instead of 500. I'm not sure where I was setting it. The height is full. Where is the oh, we are talking about the input. Okay, my apologies about that. Not the button necessarily, but the input. The width is 300. We want it to be full. Okay, we want it to be full. This is the mockup and this is ours. Okay, okay, now it's full and it's small. What does this mean? This means that there is another container which is wrapping the input, which is not full. Okay, let's go to that container. If this is an input, it's full. We've got another container, this one, and it's not full. Okay. Okay, let's see. Width. Sorry. I'm used to React Native. The W full. Okay. Okay, let's go back. As you can see, guys, now everything works well. But if we look at the height, ours it's like small, and this one it's a little bit bigger. So let's fix that. The height of the input is 45. Let's make it 60 pixels. Okay, sorry for that. Let's close Spotify here. Is Spotify open? Let's close it. Don't need it. Okay, my computer is misbehaving and I don't know why. Sometimes I feel like I'm losing control, but it's fine. Sometimes you just have to lose control sometimes. Okay. Okay, as you can see, guys, this is 60. Obviously this 60 it's too much. Okay, let's just settle for 50 at least. 60 is too much. It's making it ugly. Okay, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this. Okay, so now mm, we are done with everything. Let's change this to subscribe. Okay, now we are changing it to subscribe, not here on the input button, but on the calling or the client code or the parent code. And then let's change this to subscribe. Don't mind about the error that you see here. We are going to fix it now. And then we also want to supply, we want to style this button. Okay, now we can supply the class name. Okay, this is what we have declared. And then we want to change everything. Okay, we want the BG. We want BG black. Let's say we want the border. We want the border. The border changes on hover. Okay, let's say on hover. On hover, we want the border black. Okay, and then on hover, we want the background color to be white. And on hover, we want the color to be black. Sorry, text black. I hope you see, guys. So I'm trying to change the look and feel of the button. Okay, of the input button. Okay, so now let's change what is it. Let's check what is it complaining with. btn name, I got it. Placeholder, I got it. Class name, I got it. um btn name, I got it. Placeholder, I got it. Class name, I got it. Let's see. btn name, string, placeholder, I got it. Class name, I got it. Is missing from the following properties from type input prop. Oh, okay. BTN active color and BTN. Okay, my apologies. I can see. Now we don't have the BTN active and the BTN inactive. The reason is, what can I say? This class name library has changed everything, because now we are not going to set the BTN active. As you can see, we are setting the BTN active and inactive here using this hover. So that means, guys, we don't need this. Okay, I thought we were going to do it the other way, but obviously I changed my mind. We don't need this. Okay, we don't need that. Let's check placeholder, BTN name, and class name. Okay, obviously we don't need this. Now everything is working 100%. Let's see how is this looking like. Okay, it looks like it's not black, because based on our thinking and our logic, this is supposed to be black because we've got the default, what can I say, we now overriding the default red. Okay, let's just check there what might be the problem with our class names. Okay, let's see, where are we? First, we're in the input button. I'm happy with that. Okay, this is, let me remove this. Okay, one other thing which I think is important when we are using this. Okay, this is just my thinking, guys. I will tell you why. Okay, I'm assuming these functions concatenate these class names. Okay, some sort of, it attaches these to this. Okay, this is an error. We don't need this here. Let's see, does it make any change? Not really. Okay, so it's attaching this string to this string. Imagine if it can attach it like this. Will this be fine? As you can see, this is not fine. It's supposed to attach it like this, space first, and then add. This is working. So as a programmer that is trying by all means to be clever, I need to think of that in advance. So when I'm adding this here, I must first put an empty string, and then on JavaScript we concatenate using plus. Okay, okay, why it's not adding this one and this one? Let me be clever. Instead of concatenating the strings like this, let me use a what's that? Is it a string literal? I forgot the name of this. Okay, but this is what I mean. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a string here, but not this one, because this one is complicating my life. I'm going to put this one. I'm not sure what is the name of this symbol. Okay, but in when we are using this, it's not, is it, it's not a string literal. I forgot what we name, like the industry term here in JavaScript, but this is what you use. Okay, you just use this, and then you can paste whatever you, okay, whatever you want to paste here as a variable. You always put a dollar sign and the curly braces. It means that it's going to stay here as it is. Okay, let's see why it's not allowing me to do that. Let's see, let's try, let's take the baby steps, guys. Okay, let's take the baby steps. Okay, let's take the baby steps. Did you mean what? Okay, let's remove this. Okay, this works. Let's put a string. Okay, let's say bg space bg black. It works, but still it's still red, so I just want to solve that first. Okay, That means there is no need for these curly braces because we are already in JavaScript. Okay, these curly braces were already in JavaScript. I do get that. So if that's the case, let's just add this. 100%, I'm happy with that. Now I want to put this one, as you can see, guys. So it's like we can mix variables and a text in the same line, meaning that you just add the text that you want to add and put the space there. So this will be displayed as a string as it is just here. The relevant string will be substituted. So trying to be a clever programmer, I'm going to remove this and then save, and then make sure that I always put a space here. This is my own way of thinking in advance, so that when this class name function is trying to concatenate and substitute, so that it cannot attach these things next to the other. Okay, that was my first thinking around it. And then what I want to do next, okay, I'm done with that. Let's test. Okay, obvious. Yeah, now as you can see, guys, we are starting to, it's starting to work. Okay, as you can see now, it's starting to work. It's different from the way it was. Okay, and then if now it's working, let's change the border. Let's change the border color. Why it's not changing from the calling client? Where is the border color on button? We're on the form. Yes. Okay, BG is black. I'm happy with that. Border, we don't need this border here because we do have on the actual code on the previous one, on the previous page. Okay, we just need to change the border color on hover, border black. Okay, that means the border by default it's red. I think I have tried to change this by changing the border to transparent, but because of everything was red, I couldn't see exactly what's going on. So I think let's go back. We really need to solve this thing. Okay, so initially, let's go back. Initially the border here it's red, as you can see, because we've got the border. Yes, but um, where is the border? Okay, so the initial border it's red. Okay, as you can see here, is it okay? This is hover. Okay, this is hover. So on hover, the background border is red. Okay, let me just say here border transparent. I want a transparent border initially. As you can see, now the border is transparent, but when I'm hovering, it doesn't show here. I am a human being. I think I can plan around this. Okay, I think I might have a plan around this, a work around it. Okay, even though this workaround is not going to be exactly the actual thing, but it's going to be something like it. Okay, but first let me just check what I might have done wrong. Okay, I've got the border. When I've got the border, it doesn't mean I've got the border color. I'm happy with this. This just means we've got the border. Or let me not have the border here because I don't need it, if I can be honest. Okay, when it's on the default, okay, I don't need the border. I only need the mm, I do need it because when I'm hovering on red, I want the border to be red. But let me put the border on hover. Okay, think we are winning, guys. On hover, let's add the border, then this one. So meaning that we don't have the border. Yes, we don't have the border, but on hover we only have the border on hover. Okay, same applies if this style is not here. Let's go to this class. Let's say this is not here. We want to have a default style which is red. As you can see, it defaults to red. There is no border now here. I'm 100% sure. It only appears when when I am hovering. Okay, guys, I hope you are learning something on how do you think about these things. Okay. Now, guys, I think we are done. We've got a okay, I think we are done. We've got a button that is sorry, a component that is highly reusable. Point in case, let's say we want to create this but a blue version. Look at how easy that is going to be. Look at how easy it's going to be. Look at how easy it's going to be. Look at how easy this is going to be. Apologies about that. Okay, let's check. As you can see, guys, we've got a second version. Okay, and this component is highly reusable. Okay, and then what we want to do, maybe we might say here, type the component name, not subscribe. Let's say it can be save. Okay, save. Okay, as you can see, guys, everything adjusts automatically exactly the way we want. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just for the what can I say, or let me just leave the default here, the red one, since we are cloning this UI. Okay, but I hope you have learned everything. We don't need this. Okay, as long as we know our component is highly reusable. Okay, property class name is missing. Okay, why do we have this? It's simply because TypeScript, in TypeScript we have reinforced that these must be there. Remember, it's not a must. Okay, more especially the classes. Now let's go to our props. Okay, now it's not a must that we have this one. Let's put a question mark. We might have it, we might not have it. If we don't have it, use the default thread. As you can see, it's using the default thread, and we've got this and we've got this. So this is a reusable component. Let's remove this and only be left with this one. Something is refreshed. What do we, oh, okay, now I see. Let me go back. Go back. Okay, undo. Let's see where I am. Oh, I'm in the input button now. I can see. Okay, I'm deleting this from the wrong place. Let's delete this one. 100%. Okay, as you can see, guys, let's check the mockup. Not this one. Not this one. Where is the dribble? The dribble one. Dribble one. Yeah, did I open two things? I think so. Okay. I think here is the second one. Okay, this is the dribble one. Okay, let me just copy this, delete it from here, paste it here. Okay, this is what I want. Check this one and this one, almost like the same. Okay, now let's type, let's put this. You can subscribe at any time. Okay, put it below this. What are we going to call that message? For now, we are not going to create some sort of a prop for this because we just want to wrap up the tutorial. At least we have some sort of, we did a lot of things. Okay, so the other ones, the easy ones, maybe you can just implement yourself. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put that message here. Let me say it's p tag. Okay, you can subscribe anytime. Okay, was it you can subscribe or you can unsubscribe anytime? Let's check. This is not what we want. Go there. Yeah, you can unsubscribe. Okay, you can unsubscribe. Okay, something is disturbing me here. Okay, you can some unsubscribe anytime, but this doesn't have, it must not be part of this. Okay, must not be part of this. Let's put it under this one. It's obviously it's going to complain because there must be only one parent. Let's create a parent, a wrapping parent here. Save and let's check. You can unsubscribe anytime. The wrapping parent, it's not full. The width and height of that wrapping parent, it's not full. Let's just quickly solve that. Only the width, it must be full. Go back. As you can see, guys, here is the message. Okay, let's check the spacing. We happy with the spacing? Obviously, as you can see, the spacing is not like exactly like this one. So our spacing, as you can see, not exactly. So what we can do, we can use this one. Okay, not really. Let's go and check what we can do from there. Do we have any flex in this form? Okay, do we have any flex in this form? Where is the form itself? Okay, function, return, center, background white, form, flex, yes, gap. Let's make it 18. Let's see. Not really. Let's see if the gap is 20, 100%, but now we want 14. Okay. Somewhat like it, but to us, the gap it's between every element, this one and this one and this one and this one, of which that's not what we want. Can we create a container that will wrap only the bottom element so that I can space the bottom element accordingly? As you can see, it looks like to me this gap and this one it's the same. So let's have a special container to wrap only these, and then the gap will be 12 or 15. So for this one, do we really need a gap? Let's say the gap is 4 for this. Okay, so let's create a special container. It's going to exclude this and it's going to wrap while in the form it's going to wrap these. Yes, 100%. Okay, class name, let's just say center, and then gap of 12. Okay, let's see. As you where are we? Oh, this is the mockup. This is not what we want. Okay, the reason is whatever that rep this doesn't have all of these. Okay, let's copy like everything from the form as it is and put it here also first, and then we can only change this gap of 4 to 12. As you can see now, where are we? Okay, we are in the our own mockup. Now I'm getting confused, guys, my apologies. Sometimes I'm not sure if I'm here or I'm here, but we are here. I'm happy with this gap. It looks like it's somewhere getting there, but let's make it 10. Let's make it 10. Yeah, I'm happy with this gap. And then let's change this color to gray. Okay, our gray, that gray, it's secondary, I think so. So we need to go to the input, and then we need to change this color. Okay, guys, we are getting there. Class name,
Yeah.
Bless me. Okay, let's continue. We want text. Okay, let's do this text dash underscore secondary. This is the or tertiary. This is the grade that we're looking for. As you can see, you can unsubscribe anytime. Let's just check. Okay, for me, I would like to push this message right here a little bit so that it cannot be straight with those ones. Let's say margin left, let's say 4. Okay, that's my personal preference. Okay, think I'm happy with this. Okay, margin top of 2. Okay, let's see. Margin top of 2, I'm happy with that. Now we need the icons. Okay, we need these icons and then we will be done. Okay, let's go back. Okay. What else? What else? What else do we want? What else do we want? Okay, we want the icons. Okay, let's create the icon component. Obviously, in terms of the icon component, we are not really going to separate it and put it on a different component. The reason is we are not going to change it. It will remain as it is. We are not. It's not like these ones where we can pass some. What can I say? Different names and what. Okay, so let's go and do that. Now we are inside a form. Okay, we are inside a form. What we want to do inside a form, are we still live? Yes. Okay, inside a form, what we want to do inside a form. Okay, what we want to do inside the form, let's save the form, and then right underneath here we want to create a container for the icons. Okay, did we install React icons? Did we install that? React icons, did we install this? React icons straight? Did we? I think so. Okay, how can you know if you've installed something or you didn't? You can go here. You can go where you can go here and check on the package.json. Then usually this is what I do. Let's search for icons. Here is it, React icons. That means we have it. Okay, now let's go and use those React icons. If I can be honest, I'm used to React Native icons since I have been learning React Native, so I just have to quickly check here. Okay, how do you do that? You import it, and how do you use it? You use it like this. Let's look for a. Okay, let's do that. Let's import this on the form. Let's import it. Then let's just use it. Okay, as it is. Where is that container? Okay, you are closing the form here. Okay, this is what we want. Let's see. Here is it. Okay, that means we have the icon. Okay, that means we do have the icon. Okay, here is it. And then what we want icons like this: Facebook, Twitter, what and what. So we need to come here. Not really. Let's go up. Up. Don't we have a link to that page? View the documentation. Okay, this is the page that we want, and we want Facebook. Facebook icon. I think I'm happy with this one. Okay, we import it like this. Okay, first import it. Okay, this is okay. Yeah, now we import it like this and then we use it. Okay, let's check. We use it here. Let's check if it's there. 100%. And then we want Twitter and Google Plus. I don't want this. I want this. We'll say Twitter. Let's import. Okay. Okay, and then go back here. Okay, go back. What else? Google Plus, YouTube, and Instagram. Where I am, I'm lost, but I will find myself. Where is Google Plus? Okay, that's Google Plus. Okay. Okay, Google Plus. Let me just adjust this. Okay, my apologies for that. This gives me problems, so I just need to make some. Just quickly show you what this is. Okay, this is the problem that I'm facing here. So I keep on bumping my foot here. So my apologies for that. This is something that I just had to attend to. Okay, it's something that I had to attend to. Thank you so much. So YouTube, copy this, import, and then okay, paste it here. Where are the other icons? Oh, we've got Google Plus. So Google Plus is in the wrong place. Okay, it was supposed to be here. Okay, and then Instagram, and then Instagram. Instagram, I think this one will work. Okay. Okay, guys, we are almost done, guys. As you can see, we are wrapping up. I hope you guys are subscribing. Okay, hope you guys are subscribing to support the channel. Okay, let's just go check the mockup. As you can see, everything is here. So now let's quickly work on the styling. Okay, number one. Okay, um, number one, where is this container? Class name. Okay, let's just use center for now. Gap of 5, gap of 8, flex row, flex of row. Let's see. Okay, I'm happy with this. Obviously, everything has been centered. That means we need to align this to here. Let's just check. Okay, everything must be aligned like this. That's not much of a problem. Um, what else do I want? The sizes and the colors. Okay, the sizes. Let's just quickly check here. Is there anything that talks about the sizes? Okay, let's just add the sizes in our own way. Okay, add the sizes in our own way. 30. Check the Facebook size. I'm happy with that. Okay, I think somewhat on 25. Okay. Okay, let's also add the color. Okay, let's also add the color so that in terms of the color, we need to use the Tailwind style. Let's say class name. Class name, or do we have a class name? Yeah, looks like we don't have. Let's edit and see, is it going to reject that? It doesn't reject that. So let's say text, um, text underscore tertiary. Let's see. As you can see, guys, we are winning. So let's copy and paste everything here. %. That is it, guys. But the size of Facebook is bigger than others. Of course, because others don't have the size. Okay, my mistake, my apologies for that. We are concluding the video. As you can see, guys, now what we want to do, as a personal preference, if we were not cloning this, I was going to leave this as it is, but we are making a clone, so let's see. In the work environment, you will be asked to do it exactly as is. So that's why we must, even if we want to make some changes, let's say this guy have asked us to produce this. So he must be proud. He must feel like we did what he wanted. Hence, we must do it the way it is. Okay, let's just look at our containers. There is a container that aligns things to the center here, which is this needs to be aligned to the left. Or what we can do, let's not go to the containers, okay? Let's be clever or be smart. Let's just push the margin right of this container to auto so that it can be pushed to the left. Okay, let's do that first. Here is the container, margin right. Okay, margin dash R to auto. Wait, why you don't have it? Margin right auto. Okay, as you can see, guys, we have pushed this to the left. Okay, now let's look at what we have and the design part, the graphic design part. Okay, this is what we have. Okay, and this is what we came up with. Is this gap the same? Okay, the gap is a little bit smaller. The gap is a little bit smaller. Let's make it 6. Let's make it 6. This is where we are. Okay, guys, I am Matthew Msingati, the designer and developer. This is my YouTube channel. I'm sitting at 535. By the end of this year, I want to be at 1 million subscribers. Please, guys, help me to make the dream come true. Share my work. At least, as you can see, we are going slowly but slowly. We are at 539. Guys, we are getting there. I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial. Please, if you want to ask something, feel free to ask me something on the comment. Otherwise, for me, Matthew Msengati, the designer and developer, stick with me. I will make you famous. I will take you places to see different faces. Is that possible? Yes. Thank you so much. See you on the next one.